The Forest Film Festival. Ruby Raccoon adjusted her beret, clutched her clipboard, and stood in the middle of the sunny forest clearing. Today was the big day. Her dream of directing a film would finally come true. "Places, everyone," she called, voice full of energy. Around her, the forest animals scrambled into position. The Forest Film Festival was only a week away, and her entry, the Great Acorn Heist, had to be a masterpiece. Benny Bear bounded over, wearing a pinstripe suit 3 sizes too small. "Ruby, I'm ready for my close-up." "You're playing a squirrel," Ruby reminded him, eyeing the bear's fuzzy tail clearly made from an old mop. "Method acting," Benny said with a dramatic flourish. "I feel like a squirrel inside." Ruby groaned quietly. She had expected a few bumps, but Benny's flair for improvisation had already turned 3 serious scenes into slapstick comedy. Still, he was enthusiastic, and they needed that. "Let's start with Scene 3, the getaway," Ruby said, clapping the board. The forest clearing transformed into a chaotic set. Pine cones stood in for bags of loot. A wagon with wooden wheels, borrowed from the Squirrel Scouts, served as the escape vehicle. Benny leapt onto the wagon. "Drive, drive! The chipmunk cops are on our tail!" "They're not supposed to show up until Scene 5, Ruby shouted. But Benny was already galloping away, dragging the wagon through leaves and startling the chipmunk extras into action. The camera, held steady by Lila Owl, shook as laughter and ad-libbed lines filled the forest. "Cut!" Ruby called, trying not to pull her fur out. "We need to stick to the script." "I am the script," Benny boomed, puffing out his chest. "Art comes from spontaneity." Ruby looked to Lila for help, but the owl just shrugged. "It's unique." They reset for another scene. This one required a mysterious shadow in the background, hinting at a rival gang of nut thieves. But as they filmed, a new shadow appeared, one that wasn't in the script. "Who's that?" Ruby asked, squinting at the dark figure creeping behind the trees. "Part of the twist ending?" Lila guessed. "No," Ruby said slowly. "That's not us." Suddenly, the monster stepped into the light. Tall, shaggy, and completely unfamiliar. It wore a leafy cloak and had 2 twigs sticking from its head like antlers. The cast screamed. Benny grabbed a prop sword made of bark. "Fear not, forest friends, I shall defend us." But before he could charge, the creature tripped over a root and fell flat on its face. Everyone froze. Then the cloak slipped off, revealing Timber. Ruby blinked. "The porcupine." The shy porcupine looked up, cheeks red. I just wanted to be in the movie." "You scared us half to death," Benny gasped, half impressed, half disappointed he didn't get a sword fight. "I made a costume and everything," Timber said quietly. "I thought, maybe I could be the monster in the heist." Ruby looked at the startled, costumed cast, then at the footage where the monster actually looked pretty incredible. "Timber," she said with a smile, "you just saved the 3rd act." The next few days were a flurry of rewrites and reshoots. Benny remained the overly dramatic hero. Timber was now the misunderstood monster thief with a tragic backstory. Lila edited everything with surprising skill. Ruby kept her cool, even when Benny tried to do his own stunts and got stuck in a hollow log. Finally, the night of the Forest Film Festival arrived. Animals from every corner of the woods gathered around the big outdoor screen made of stretched spider silk. The film played to gasps, giggles, and even a few sniffles. When it ended, the forest burst into applause. Ruby's team won Most Original Plot Twist and Best Improvised Performance, much to Benny's delight. Backstage, Ruby beamed. "We went completely off script," she said, "and somehow made it work." Benny threw an arm around her. "That's the magic of movies, director. You plan for a squirrel heist and get a monster buddy flick instead." Timber blushed behind them. "Do you think I could be in the next one?" Ruby grinned. "Only if you bring that costume." The forest stars twinkled above them, and the curtain of night fell on their first big adventure. but something told Ruby this was only the beginning.